Hold on. Before you say the Spurs choked, let me ask you something. If a team is leading by 29 points in the NBA Finals, how do they possibly lose? Seriously. If you walked away from your TV for a few minutes and came back to see the final score, you'd probably think there was a mistake. But there wasn't. What happened in this game left NBA fans completely speechless, and some people are already calling it one of the most shocking collapses in finals history. The craziest part is that it wasn't just one bad play, one bad call, or one missed shot. It was a chain reaction of mistakes that nobody saw coming. And trust me, when we get to the final minutes of this game, you're going to understand why fans are still arguing about it. Before we get started, let me know in the comments. Was this the greatest comeback you've ever seen, or the biggest collapse in NBA Finals history? Also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We break down the biggest stories, the hottest debates, and the most unbelievable moments in basketball. And if you're a Spurs fan, don't worry, we'll try to get through this together. Now sit back, because what happened in this game may have completely changed the future of the NBA Finals, and the ending was even crazier than anyone could have imagined.
Tony, it's only fair and right to credit Anunoby and Jalen Brunson, specifically them. And Alvarado came in and did some nice work for Mike Brown, who did some nice work in figuring out and creating, and all that's fine. But the Spurs authored the greatest choke job at a championship level of play that I have ever seen in any sport. They had the dumbest stretch, the most sustained stretch of dumb basketball I've ever seen. With a secure lead, you know what they could have done? If there was a basketball equivalent of taking a knee, like in football, that's what they should have done. Just let the clock run out, the shot clock run out, 23 seconds every time, 24, buzzer, hand the ball to the ref, and then they've done better than they did, jacking up three-point shot after three-point shot, not just ill-advisedly, but stupidly. And this is the franchise of, brilliance. Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and the hallmark of their franchise is intelligence, intellect. And what the hell were they doing? And it went on and on and on and on, and nobody could stop it. Nobody could rally the guys. Nobody could say, let's stop. Let's not do this. We've got control of the game. And so the Spurs choked their way, as far as I'm concerned, out of the championship round, because as far as I'm concerned, it's now over.
So my feeling about this is if I have to assign numeric responsibility for the game last night, it's going to be very close. It's going to be like 52-48.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I probably would say that the Spurs had a larger hand in this in terms of giving the game away than the Knicks did in taking it, but only because of the insane non-variety of shots that they had, three after three after three after three. But let me just say this. The Knicks have been doing this the entire playoffs. They came back against Atlanta. They came back against Cleveland. Now they have come back against San Antonio. They have established a pattern here as I check my notes. There have been, in the last 2 years, through all the rounds of the playoffs, the Knicks have come back and won games where they were 20 points down 5 times. The entire rest of the NBA has done it 4 times. So this is what the Knicks have done. I don't want anybody to say the Knicks got lucky. I don't want anybody to say the Knicks didn't deserve this. This is who they are, and I don't want them to be cheated of their moment.
Yeah.
I watched this last night. I watched what happened. San Antonio froze. They had 76 points in the first half. They had 30 in the second half. Their coach froze last night. You were very critical of Kenny Atkinson when he seemed to do nothing when Cleveland was playing the Knicks.
Just as critical of
Mitch Johnson. In this particular case, the only thing he did differently was he didn't say that analytically San Antonio had won the game. But he didn't cover himself. He did not cover himself with glory. Nobody did on this thing. You know, the other point I want to make is the Knicks, they never gave up. And the reason you don't give up and you still play is because they've won this kind of game before recently.
Fourth quarter, 7.5 minutes left, down 22.
They knew they could do it.
Look, Tony, there is a connectivity and a chemistry about these Knicks with Brunson and Anunoby and Cat at the head of it. Yeah. And they are so together. They believe in what their coach, Mike Brown, is doing. Mike Brown went to a backcourt last night that had never played together during the season. Alvarado and Jalen Brunson. Never been together. But he saw the need to have an additional ball handler out there and how this would help that team.
And what the Spurs didn't do.
And he went to it.
They didn't call a timeout, and the coach gets in the middle and said, no more threes.
They missed 12 threes that were taken with 10 seconds or more on the shot clock. You need to limit the possession of the Knicks because you're ahead.
Yeah.
And they were too dumb to do this in the moment. I can't get over it. I'm still trying to process it, and I was there. The Spurs lost the game, of course, but claim they have not lost their confidence. Wemby said, quote, "I think it's going to go one of two ways, a bad one. I know this is what we're going to do," close quote. You convinced?
So this sounds good. It is exactly what someone is supposed to say. I believe they will get stronger. I believe they're a young team and their trajectory is up.
Yes.
I believe they will win championships.
Me too.
But I don't believe they're going to win this one.
No.
They may win Game 5. I don't believe they're going to win 3 in a row. I want to go to what they've done because the San Antonio Spurs have been ahead in every single game in this series, okay? They are plus 47 in the first quarter. They get big leads. They have won 1 game. They could have won 4. They have
analytically.
They have won 1 of these games. In the games that they lost, Game 1 they're up by 14. Game 2 they're up by 12. Last night, 29. And again, they've won 1 game here. They've been thrilling games, but the Knicks have won 3. The story to me is the Knicks.
Tony, there's no way you can have confidence after last night. Last night was shell shock. It was. I don't care what they say. I mean, being in that building. Now I know they're going to go home. There's some solace in that, but no, I don't believe this. And you know, the hill I will die on philosophically is
teams have to have their hearts broken.
Have to be crushed first.
I know.
Welcome to the club, San Antonio. Now they can win some other year. Next year. The Knicks had their hearts broken last year and the year before. So the Knicks know what this feels like. They've been through this. Their coach had this happen in other places. Sacramento, he had it happen in Cleveland. Yeah. Mike Brown knows all of the whole Knicks squad, cast-offs, all of them. They all know it. Now the Spurs know it. So no, I don't believe that. I believe that Wemby is saying and trying to dredge up a feeling that he wants to. Maybe he even feels this way. But it ain't gonna work. I don't see them winning Game 5. I'll see to you they could. Tony, I think this is a crushing loss. I think the Spurs will go on to win championships, plural.
Yeah, but not.
And those guys will be great. God, my God, Dylan Harper, who got no shots in the last 10 minutes last night after being the best player on the floor. They don't know how to do this.
Can I go to Wembanyama for a second? Because De'Aaron Fox taken a lot of heat in the last 24 hours.
He is deserved.
Victor Wembanyama jacked up threes that didn't go in.
He did.
He also lay on the ground and insulted Mitchell Robinson.
Missed 2 free throws.
Made fun of him.
Critical.
Yeah, with 1:40 to go, I believe, and they're up 1, and he missed both free throws, and he got another flagrant. So I would just say, and I know you love him.
I do.
I would just say hold off on the coronation.
Hold off.
Hold off a little
I
bit.
agree.
Right?
Tony, there's no question about that. We're seeing this process go on, and maybe we're seeing more of it because the Spurs really are a year early. Yeah. You know, I mean, it didn't make any sense to go from lottery to finals, but they did it, and that's quite an accomplishment.
I thought they were the best team in the NBA 3 months ago, and I told you that, and I thought they'd win.
But when you get to this position.
Let's get to hockey.